What up guys, it's Pie back with another video. This time it's going to be on simultaneous equation canon. A pretty common trap card in Trap Lab, which is a pretty cool deck. I really enjoy Trap Lab. And I've seen a lot of people play it, and usually they take a bit of time trying to resolve the card or like checking for if it's possible to resolve with the full effect. Of course, you don't need to resolve the second effect, but you always want to activate it if you can, or like you would never activate it just to banish some from the extra deck, or like in 99% of cases. So I feel like there's a pretty efficient way, which I wrote down in a pretty convoluted way. But this video is here to get you better at resolving the card. Then you can resolve it in game with like maybe 5 seconds max. Like it doesn't take a lot of time. Because I've seen people put out their spreadsheet at locals, shoutouts to them. But in general, like there's a really fast way, and I wrote it down to explain it, and I'm gonna show it to you. First of all, the real equations, we don't care about the equations on the card. These are the equations you need to know. So I wrote them down as all cards on field and hands, like the total, no? As you know, it counts both players' hands and field, so all, and we only need minus the level, and then we get one of the materials. This is the equation we will keep in mind, which is the first one. So all minus the level equals the material, and hence the second equation arrives, which is material plus other material needs to equal the total level. But this is just for the mathematics sake, so you don't really need it. All you need is the first equation. And if you care about the boundaries, it's basically like that. So of course, the material needs to be smaller than the level of the monster, because we need 2 materials to add up to the level. And of course, they need to be at least 1, since we have no level 0 fusions or level 0 XC monsters or rank 0. Therefore, A, which is the total, as we know, needs to be bigger than the level of the monster, and also smaller than 2 times the level of the monster. For any geeks or like people who are interested in 5th grade mathematics, I feel like this should be 5th grade, not higher. There's the explanation. We don't really care about this, but I just thought I write it down so it's easy for everybody to understand. Of course, it doesn't care about the level and ranks in your extra deck. They also adjust the boundary for A, but we don't really care about it. We can also just adjust the condition for L, because L is the thing we care about, the level of the monster, meaning for any given level on the field, it needs to be bigger than at least half the total. Like for example, if we have 14 cards in total, the level of the monster needs to be at least 8, because half of 14 is 7, so L needs to be at least 8. But L also needs to be smaller than the total, because like if we have a higher level than the total, then the first equation doesn't make any sense. Also, like we need the level to be greater than 2, because for 1, as mentioned, we don't have level 0s or rank 0s. So, but this is just basic mathematics. We don't care about this. All we care about is all, so the total cards on field, all minus the level equals one of the materials. This is everything we need. This takes 2 seconds to calculate. So we get into examples. Having the examples here, I just put up a basic Snake as field, like a game state with Labyrinth, so which we can see is Flamberge on the field and Magnemite on the field, meaning we have level 8 and level 6. And if we count the total in general on the opponent's side of the field, they in total have 6 cards, and we in total have 5 cards, meaning the total in general is 11. So we have A equals 11, and we have either level 6 or level 8. Doesn't take that long to figure out. It takes longer for me to say it out than to figure it out. But meaning, if we have our one equation, we can either subtract 11 minus 8 or 11 minus 6, so we either get 3 and 5. And to pinpoint it, if we want to take the flamberge as our target, so we have 3, 3, and 5, meaning 2 level rank 3 XC monsters. And if we want to choose the Magnemite, we have 5, 5, and 1, meaning 2 rank 5s and 1 level 1 fusion. So pretty easy. Another example would be a more simplified game state where the total in general is 8 because our opponent has 5 cards and we have 3 cards, meaning 8 in total. And the only legal target is a Fiendsmith because Snake Eyes is level 1 and as we mentioned, the level needs to be at least 2. So we have 8 and 6, meaning 8 minus 6 equals 2. And so we need to banish 2, 2, and 4. So, as mentioned, rather simple again. Pretty easy to resolve, like there's nothing too complicated about it. So there's another game state. This time we have 8 on the opposing side, 6 on our side, meaning the total cards is 14, and the only applicable level is 6, meaning we have technically 14 minus 6 equals 7, but as mentioned, the level of the monster needs to be at least greater than half of the total, and 6 is smaller than 7, meaning we cannot resolve it. Pretty easy, takes like 2 seconds, and all we need to do is one simple equation instead of a simultaneous equation. Also, to conclude, there's another example to basically know how to counter the card. Came up for me at the European Championship because I know the card, I tested Labyrinth, so I wanted to know the quickest way. And for example, the Spirit of Yubel. It level equals 10 and not 11. Ignore what's standing there, its level is 10. And assuming the highest rank played by the opponent is a 7, because usually in the lab decks the highest rank is 7, so meaning they can banish 7, 7, and 3 to make it equal to 11, 10, and the highest number, or like the number of cards in total, should be 17, meaning if you're above 17, your opponent cannot use the simultaneous equation cannon. And going by the same logic, assuming the highest fusion monster they play is level 5, they can only go 5, 5, and 5 for 15, so that would be the lowest number. And meaning they cannot resolve it. So basically pretty easy to understand, but there are a lot of things, like basically know your levels and then just count the game state. Do the same equation as your opponent and you will know how to counter it, which is pretty simple. So thanks for watching, should be pretty easy, and I hope you can send it to everyone who struggles with resolving the card. I feel like this is the most simplistic solution which you can do, meaning just total minus the level equals one of the materials, either fusion or XC, and then you're done. So have fun resolving the card within 5 seconds and not getting a slow play warning. See ya!